Hi there. My name is Taro Iwamoto. I am a Feldenkrais practitioner. And in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 exercises to reduce the forward head posture and improve your posture. And you have to really understand in order to improve that forward head posture, and you have to understand how you get that in the first place, and what's the mechanism, and then what is really contributing to that posture in the first place. Okay, so you can't really just look at your head and let's fix your head and let's pull your shoulders back and let's push your head back. It's not enough, and the reason why that's not enough is, where does it start? It actually starts further down, and I'll show you what that means. And so the key is, before we get into the 3 exercises, the key is that you have to train the whole body movement patterns in order to change that, your forward head posture. Okay. So as I'm sitting, well, this is a really low sitting chair, but this is what I happen to have right here, so I'm going to use it now. But so I'd like you to take a look at my sitting position and my pelvis. Okay, so as I'm sitting right over here, and common sitting posture for people is that they sit and roll the pelvis back. Maybe because of the contour on the seat, that maybe just causes them to sit a little bit more towards the back side. But notice what happens when the pelvis rolls back. Okay, you can watch my back. Okay, so as I'm starting here and let my pelvis roll backwards, and immediately, do you notice my lower back and my entire back actually kind of round a little bit. Okay, and as I come back. Do you see the difference? I shift the weight to roll the pelvis back. Then what happens to my back? And also what happens to my head? So the pelvis rolls back, and then the spine is connected to the pelvis. So when the pelvis rolls backward, and the whole spine is going to round. Okay? And then naturally what happens to the head is the head goes down, right? But if you're watching the TV, if you're using a computer, and you have to compensate to look up, right? And this is how you get the hyperextension, the extension of the neck, right? So watch here, as I'm pretend that I have a monitor right at my eye level, and then if I allow my pelvis to roll back and round in the back, but I continue to look at the computer screen, then guess what happened? Now I have a forward head posture, right? So this is how you get. So if you're only looking at your neck and the chest and the shoulders, and not paying attention what happens here, what you do with the pelvis, and then that's not really good. If you continue to sit with the pelvis rolling backwards like that, and then trying to correct that head and the shoulder positions, then that actually increases in effort, and you don't really want to be in that position for a very long time. That's very uncomfortable. Okay, so let's get into the 3 exercises. So, like I said, the key thing is to train your the pelvis and the entire kinetic chain. So it's not just the neck, but you have to understand that the connection from the pelvis all the way up to the head. Okay, so the first exercise is to train the hip muscles and hip movements. So sit on the floor. Okay, so in this position, it's already it's easy and to setting up to roll the pelvis backwards, right? So this is where you start. So, and put your hands below your kneecaps, and what you're going to do is you're going to slowly roll your pelvis back. Okay, so this is like exaggerated slouch positions. Let your pelvis roll back, and then round your back, and then let your head kind of go down a little bit. You're not flexing your neck too much, but let your head kind of fall down a little bit. Lean back. Okay, and then slowly and starting to roll the pelvis forward. Roll the pelvis forward. And then starting to lengthen your spine. So bring in your belly towards your thighs and bring in your head up. There. Okay, and what you don't want to do is as you do that, you're lengthening the spine, but you don't want to hyperextend your neck. All right? So you want to bring your head up and eyes on high horizon. Here, slowly bring your pelvis forward and bring in your belly towards your thighs. Okay, and then keeping your head on high, keeping your eyes on a high horizon, and hold that positions for about 5 to 10 seconds until you can feel the work on the hip flexors. That's keeping your pelvis from falling backwards. And then slowly let go, and then let your pelvis roll back and then fall back, going further and rounding your back, letting your head fall down a little bit. And begin to roll the pelvis forward. Bring in your belly towards your thighs, and then lengthening your spine, and bring in your eyes on the horizon so you don't end up hyperextending your head. Look here. Okay. Then you repeat that until you get a little bit tired. So probably 10 repetitions or so. You feel probably the tiredness mostly in the hip flexors. And then so that you are actually training your hip muscles to be sitting in a little bit different position as you normally would sit. Okay. So that's the first exercise. And then the second one I'm doing in sitting. You can sit in a regular chair as long as you can have your feet on the ground. This is a little bit too low, but that's okay. Works fine. All right. So the same ideas, except you're sitting in a chair. So it'll be a little bit easier. Not as much work in the hip flexors this time. And take your hands, and interlace your hands, and put your hands behind your head. Again, we're going to learn to retrain the movements in your hips and all the way up to the head. Okay. So you do the same similar movements and rolling the pelvis back and shifting the weight back, and then bringing the elbow forward, lean back. Okay, and then starting to roll the pelvis forward. Roll the pelvis forward, lengthen your spine, but keep your head from extending too far back. Lengthen your spine so the eyes, orient your eyes on high horizon, and then begin to bring your elbows apart. But you're not leaning back. You think about lengthening the spine. There. So feel the engagement of the mid-back muscles between the shoulder blades. Okay, then hold that for a few seconds, maybe 5 seconds or so. And we repeat the same movement. Roll the pelvis backwards. Okay. Letting your head fall down and bringing the elbows forward. Rolling the pelvis back. And reverse that movement. Roll the pelvis forward. Roll the pelvis forward. Lengthening the spine. And bringing the elbows apart. And eyes on high horizon. And hold it there. Okay, so feel the length in your spine, and especially behind your neck. Okay, upper spine between the shoulder blades and the upper back and in your neck. So notice what happens, and it's a big difference compared to when you adapt to the sitting backward position. Then where you have to compensate the head is forward. Okay, so you're basically training the opposite patterns, and if this is what you do so often, what I call the habitual movement patterns, posture, right? And then you are training and doing the movements of doing in habitual movement patterns, and then training the non-habitual movement patterns, which is what you want to learn. So that's why you can't just practice and do that neck movements. You can't correct that part. You have to retrain the whole movement patterns to change that posture. Going here and then up. So you can see habitually adapting this sitting posture, and then some of the muscles are being overworked and some of the muscles are being shortened and they become tight and short over time. And by using these muscles, you are using and activating the muscles that you haven't used in a while because of the posture, your habitual posture. And so that becomes the very specific functional strengthening and stretching for you. Okay? And then you do that, I'll say maybe about 10 repetitions or so. But you really have to pay attention. The first time you do it is maybe a good idea if you have a mirror in front or the side, and so you can actually see yourself, and at the same time you pay attention to check your posture, okay, and making sure that you are doing what you think you are doing, and then check to see if you're actually doing it that right way. All right, so that's the second one, and then one more is it's a little bit more specific and to mobilize and strengthen mid upper back area. So you can sit in a chair. It's a little bit too low for me, but it's okay. Lean forward, and you keep your belly on your thighs. Okay, keep your belly on your thighs, and then without lifting your belly away from your thighs. Okay, so think about lifting your sternum, your breastbone, only away from your thigh. Do that. So being very specific in it, where you extend and activate. Okay. So you're not really moving from your low back, but you are moving from the mid and upper back. And one of the constraints is to keep your belly from moving away from your thighs. So keep your bellies there, and then lift your sternum away from your thighs. Okay, and so it is so easy to hyperextend your neck here. The reason why is because of the forward head posture and the kyphotic posture that you have adapted over the years and over the months, that these thoracic mid-back area have become pretty stiff and immobile, and you haven't used them so much, right? And naturally, you have to compensate so much from the neck, the lower part of the neck, and doing a lot of extension, right? So here, you're asking the parts that haven't moved a while, and then you're trying to move there, and then you probably, your nervous system, your body doesn't really know how to move that part, and plus it is pretty stiff. And so naturally, the body will find the easier place to move, which will probably be your neck. So be careful when you do this movement. Make sure to keep your head from hyperextending. Okay? So as you lift here, almost you want to think about lengthening your neck. You don't want to flex your neck, but think about lengthening your neck. So you should feel the work around the muscles between the shoulder blades area. And so these are the muscles that you really haven't used if you have the kyphotic and the forward head posture, because those muscles haven't been really engaged and used so much in day-to-day activities. Okay? But this is exactly the place that you want to wake up. Here. Okay? And then you hold that position for about 5 to 10 seconds. And then let go. And let go. Okay? And repeat that about 10 times. So those are the 3 exercises. And all these exercises are really working the non-habitual patterns, and which is opposite from this forehead posture that starts from the hips and works all the way up to the neck and the head. Okay, so you have to be able to lengthen, changing that relationship from the pelvis, between the pelvis and the head. There, okay? So quickly, 3 exercises going over from the first one. First one, sitting down, okay? Rolling back, rolling forward, rolling the pelvis forward, lengthen the spine without hyperextending your neck. Okay, hold for 10 seconds. And this is more to train the hip muscles to bring the pelvis in a new place. That is setting up for better alignment for the rest of the spine, for the spine and the head. Okay, and so that's the first one. And then the second one, sit in a chair. And probably don't want to do such a low chair like this one. So sit, hands interlaced behind your head, rolling the pelvis back, shifting the weight, rounding the back, elbows come forward, roll the pelvis forward, lengthen your spine, bringing the elbows apart, and hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, so really notice the different shape of your spine. And when you get into that position, and the forehead posture, now you're getting out of that forehead posture, but by working that whole movement from the hips all the way up to the head. Okay? That's the second one. And then the third one, okay, lean forward and put your belly, your chest, your body on your legs, on your thighs, and then keeping your belly on your thighs, and then only lifting your sternum away from your thighs, away from your leg, without hyperextending your head. Okay, here, hold it, lengthening your neck, the back of the neck, and hold that position for 5 to 10 seconds, and return here. So the purpose of this one, the last one, is to specifically to target the mid-back area, the spine, mobilizing the mid-back, the thoracic spine, and then activating some of the muscles that extends that thoracic spine, which is pretty unusual for people who have adapted a kyphotic and a forehead posture. So those are the 3 things, and you can do that every day, a couple times a day, and then so it is the strengthening, it is the waking up of the muscles. The most importantly, think about this as a retraining your movement patterns. It is not, the posture is not about stretching the muscles and then fixing anything. And it is about really, you have adapted that posture, and then that is your part of the habitual movement patterns. And then what you want to learn is you want to learn retraining the movement patterns and then getting out of the habitual forehead posture to different movement patterns, non-habitual movement patterns, right? So that's it. And I hope you find these exercises helpful, and try this one for a while, and hopefully, and as you become more aware of your posture, and then you probably catch yourself and that you're starting to getting back to your habitual forehead posture, then you have the opportunity to actually incorporate the different movement patterns. So see how that goes. If you have any questions, and let me know, and you can write the comments, and you can write the questions in the comment section below. And if you like this video, and please smash the like button. And if you're new to this channel, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. I will see you in next video. Bye bye.